It's Dizzy Wit, and I watched all the Leprechaun movies.
Who else seen the Leprechaun say yeah?
The interesting thing about Leprechaun is that the first movie and the second movie and the third movie and the fourth movie and the fifth movie and the sixth movie and the seventh movie all have nothing to do with each other. You can watch them all independently. The way they end makes no sense with the way the next one begins, chronologically or release date wise. That eighth one, though, direct sequel to the first movie. Isn't that cool? There's your fun fact. I got a bunch of fun facts about these because I watched 12 hours of the Leprechaun. Just kidding, that's what we call a bit. I'm so funny. Since I have the memory of a goldfish, we're going to check out my Letterboxd and see what I had to say about some of these. Leprechaun! Here we go. So, cool graphic. Leprechaun 1. Fuck. It's been not recording. God damn. Anyways, existential crisis aside, I rated Leprechaun 1 number 4 on my list of fuck. It's your standard run-of-the-mill Leprechaun movie. I mean, it's like ordering a hot dog without any of the fixins. You got your meat and you got your bun. You're like, I don't want any of that other stuff. It's like ordering a hamburger and being like, hold the lettuce, hold the tomato, hold any condiments. It has the sickest synth flute of any movie known to man, and I will ride and die for that. As a short side note from editing land, I don't know why I didn't mention the absolute godly aura and profound unit that Warwick Davis is at all. My bad. Anyways, back to the video. Other than that, this movie is a stinky toilet bowl. It introduced the franchise, so I can't hate on it too much, but it really does suck.
You Lucky Charms.
And
I did a smart thing. Didn't I?
But what the hell, boy?
made me cringe into my own body like a when it gets cold. I don't know any other way to say that. And on Letterboxd, I gave it a hearty 2. Leprechaun 1 is ranked 2 stars. Keep up. The unfortunate thing is, Leprechaun 2. Total hot dog shit. The only thing good was the lawnmower that transformed from the lady's tits. It's one of the worst films ever.
Good night, Ian.
Just a second. I took the whole night off for you. And what about those chili dogs?
I gave it a 1 star and ranked it 6. You got that? Leprechaun 2, 1 star, ranked 6. Leprechaun 1, ranked 4, 2 stars, I think. All right, we're getting into the juicy stuff now. Leprechaun 3. Listen, it's my second favorite in the series. Without yapping too much, the whole gimmick is that the first movie was written by the same guy who directed it, and the movie people didn't want him to direct it, but he was like, and so they let him. Then the second movie, something, I don't care, who gives a shit about that, it's a turd. But the third movie actually feels like the first movie in the franchise. It seems like an actual movie, like where people sat and wrote things on paper before they got in front of a camera. Putting the Leprechaun in Las Vegas, it's pretty sick. And there were a bunch of like crazy effects. It really made my ADHD brain wiggle a lot because it was silly as shit. It seemed like what the Leprechaun franchise should have started with. Given that it doesn't have like super sick flute synth, which is a major plot point for me, you know, nothing really lives up to that original Leprechaun synth flute, but it did have robot tip. It's totally not the next day, and I didn't freak out. It had a bite transformation lore. It was the first movie that didn't have an absolutely punchable main cast. I can't tell you how many times I looked at my partner and said, I want to physically fight every woman, man, and child in the first two Leprechaun movies. But this one, even Jennifer Aniston, bring it on. Leprechaun 2, let's go back to Leprechaun 2.
What do you think of your bridal chamber?
The woman in that...
Do you forgive me?
Cody,
Yeah.
I never stay mad at you.
Is something wrong with her? Anyways, Leprechaun 3 is my second favorite Leprechaun movie, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Here in the media wasteland, it's important to capture the female perspective of certain films, and now we're going to get a statement from my girlfriend. This shit sucks. Hot take. I don't know. I liked it. Moving on to Leprechaun 4. In Space. I gave this 1.5 stars and placed it 5th on the list. Let's go through the pros. The CGI is badass. Mitten Spider. And the character design of everything involved with Mitten Spider. The cons. Everything else. The stock sounds and the sound design made me want to have a seizure. Every shot was of him in a vent talking. Like, you just walk around in vents all day? 90% of this movie was filmed in a vent with fog. Or like a larger area with chains that look like a giant vent with more fog. And why do people die when they see Zarina's boobs? I don't understand. Do you like see her boobs and then something crazy happens, or do like her followers kill you? I just didn't really understand that part. I will say the ending with him flipping the bird, it kind of got me. And now that I'm thinking about it, can we go back to Leprechaun 2 for a second? I just remembered something. You gotta stick with me here. In the flashback of Leprechaun 2 at the very beginning, he says,
"'Tis a special birthday for a leprechaun. I'm 1,000 years old.
and then he says,
You may have saved your daughter, but on me next 1,000th birthday, I'll stalk your fairest offspring and claim her as me bride."
after which in the same film, Leprechaun 2, which takes place in 1994, he goes on to try to capture his new bride. Implying that that scene took place 1,000 years before, making it the year 994, which would then imply that he's 2,000 years old in 1994. Which brings me to my final point. This scene from Leprechaun 1 supposedly takes place in 1993.
Say, aren't we a little young to be out this late?
No, I'm 600 years old.
And it's pretty obvious that between 1993 and 1994 is 1 year. So how can he be 600 years old and then a year later be 2,000 years old? Time-traveling leprechaun confirmed? Alright, we've made it to a very important part of the list and the franchise. The most important movie in the Leprechaun series. Let me get a little... Let me get some... Let's hear some... Smack them with the... Come at them with the... #1 ranked Leprechaun movie in the series, Leprechaun Returns. I love this movie. I watched this movie as a kid, and I thought all of the leprechauns were going to be like this. This is why I went on this journey. I watched this movie consistently as a kid. I thought every single one was going to be like a little piece of this. Little did I know that it took 5 whole movies to get where we needed to go. 4 stars. To me 4 stars in a Leprechaun franchise, that may as well be 12 stars out of 10. Let's be real here, it's still Leprechaun. This is the first film in the series to actually have like real moral dilemmas. It took a group of individuals given that it was in the like hood exploitation era, and had them pit their morality and ethics against each other and bounce ideas and had struggle and actual comedy and actual tragedy. Much like one of the characters said, it be the physical and it be the metaphysical. Most importantly of all, this movie introduced the lore. The Leprechaun can summon zombie fly girls from hell. Zombie fly girls from hell? Zombie fly girls. The girls are fly zombies. Like they're fly, not like they're fly. Zombie fly girls from hell. Not to mention he's smoking fat doinks and Amish.
Smoking big doinks and Amish, big old doinks.
I'm not a weed guy, but like a leprechaun smoking weed and rapping. Like, I don't know what you want if you don't like that. I don't know what you want. This is the only movie me and my lady agreed on is number one. The shots are well composed. The pace and flow makes everything work. And they may not have had an awesome synth flute, but they did have a flute that was part of the plot. Magical. Captivating flute. Ending aside.
Gonna party through the night until the dawn. Then you and I are gonna get it on. Left in the hood, come to do no good.
It has one of my favorite moments in cinema history. Butch gets shot. He looks at his friend. It's this moment of realization, letting go, understanding what's about to happen. And he says, "Is there in heaven post?" Bravissimo! There are a few flaws. Like, why is the Helm of Awe not carved into the medallion that supposedly turns into stone anymore? Also, why can the leprechaun touch his pot of gold that's made of iron if he can't touch iron? Is it like wrought iron? Or is it some kind of iron cast or something that I don't understand? I'm not big on my iron lore. But this movie is number one, and I've been incessantly asking my friends to watch it. They don't believe me. You tell them you watch 12 hours of Leprechaun, and you show up to work, and all you do is talk about Leprechaun, you think they would understand that you know about I want you to imagine Leprechaun 2's toilet, everything. Leprechaun in the hood. Just smashing together, crumpling up into a nice, viscous, disgusting ball that's then placed into leftover food that's been sitting out and molding, then placed into a microwave and put on 16 minutes and then forgotten about for years. And then that mold and that disgusting amalgamation just grows and grows and grows, and then it bursts. And that's Leprechaun back to the hood. THA hood. I don't know what happened. It was here, right? We started here. We slowly, it went down a little bit, and then it came all the way up, and they had something. You had the leprechauns smoking fat doinks and Amish. And then what do? You just take some, what's that fish in the can that when they open it up, everyone gets sick around it? Sauce strumming or something? Oh, that's what this movie is. It's sauce strumming. What's that stuff the guy on Travel Channel would always call, the guy who always called things gelatinous? Zimmerman or something? What's that fruit he hated that it smelled so bad? That's what this movie is. This movie is that fruit and sauce strumming combined and then eaten and then puked back up. This was 7th on my list of 8. I rated it a half of a star. Let's go through my list of pros and cons with this movie. Pros. Not applicable. Cons.
Audio sounds so bad. The outdoor shots look terrible. Unironic spiral transitions. Unironic corner peel iMovie page turn transitions. 3 times. I'm not talking about your cool Quentin Tarantino swipe.
I don't know what this means, but I wrote this down. Does the director not know what a rainbow is? Every joke is weed. The leprechaun does not rhyme in this film. He does not rhyme. You know what? You know what? All your goofs, all your gaffes, all your silly goodness is gone. You've ruined it. I gotta stop talking about this. I'm getting pissed off. But it gets worse. I really gotta put a string on this shit or something. It gets so much worse. Nah, I can't say so much worse. Origins was a nothing burger. Not like Leprechaun 1, where you get the meat and the bun and none of the condiments. This shit is like getting hamburger buns with nothing in the middle. And like McDonald's hamburger buns, where it's just repackaged cardboard that the FDA says is slightly biodegradable. This is like Subway sandwich bread made out of yoga mats with nothing in it. It is a true ass. It is a true endless supply of nothing. They run. That's the plot. The leprechaun in this is like a monster, and there's no Chadwick Davis, which, ooh, buddy. I don't blame him for leaving after Leprechaun Back to the Hood, but this movie sucked. And it even had Hornswoggle, the wrestler, in the suit, the monster suit. But the monster suit sucked. It looked like Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead's cool, but not when you're expecting Leprechaun. This don't match. It was like a slasher film where no one gets slashed. They get gobbled up by a leprechaun who likes gold or something. Nothing happened. It like people died, and then every horror trope that's ever existed happened. I actually rated this the lowest in the franchise at number 8 and gave it a half a star. If I could give it a quarter star on Letterboxd, I would. It just isn't a Leprechaun movie. It's like a monster movie that someone tried to rebrand with a known IP. It's every cornball predictable horror trope. Even the score pissed me off. It's like they just used like stock YouTube chase music. Not one goddamn flute. Not one flute. It's a leprechaun. The whole movie, spoiler, is about these stones that the leprechaun can't leave. But then everyone goes into the stones and goes, "Ah, we're dying." Instead of leaving the stones. Self-professed. He's a lep in the hood and he's up to no good. Now he's a gooey monster in the forest who doesn't talk. No limericks. No limericks. The limericks may not be good, but that's what that's what this says. What are you doing? That's like making the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and being like, you know what's annoying? The big dude with the chainsaw. Let's just take him out. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre without Leatherface. That's like doing the Nutty Professor and being like, well, fuck it. The clumps don't need to be in it. It just don't make no sense. I tried to do headcanon where I'm like, well, maybe Lubden the Leprechaun, which is evidently his name. I never heard it in the movie. Maybe I spaced out. But maybe Lubden the Leprechaun and this thing are two different leprechauns, and that's just two different leprechaun worlds. That's the only way I can make this make sense. I'm literally angry. My heart rate is up right now. But I digress. can't keep talking about this movie. It made me so angry. These last two movies made me so angry. I'm very thankful for the next movie in the franchise. The 8th movie in the franchise is my 3rd favorite film, which I proudly rated 3 stars, which to me is like, hey, this is a movie. This doesn't suck. You know, it was cool. The new dude they got in there, he's is super cool. The gimmick is that it's a direct sequel to the original Leprechaun movie, or Leprechaun 1. Don't get confused. But they brought back actors from the first movie, continued the story. It definitely had my favorite lead actress. She wasn't like stupid and clueless, and not like in a super forced inclusive way. It was like just an intelligent human being dealing with a leprechaun, which led to some really funny moments whenever they first encountered them, like saying there's a crackhead in the house and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was funny. The kills were creative and refreshing. The word Warner hurts cock was said at one point. There's limericks and goofy gaffes to be had. Hold up. Not full on in the hood goofs and gaffes, but you get one. This can even stay. They added Fool's Gold lore, which is super cool. I did hate the anti-croc propaganda. As a man who owns camouflage mossy oak crocs, that part kind of hurt a little bit. And I didn't understand the Bismarck or bus sign at the end. Maybe that tied it all together. By that point, my brain was falling out my nose because we watched all of these films in 3 days. But it really elevated the franchise whenever it was just in the dirt, beyond the dirt, to the core of the earth, at least in the mantle. Well, thanks for joining me today. I don't really know what I'm doing. There might be an outro, there might not. I really don't know. I just pointed a bright light at myself and started filming. This is obviously my first video on this channel. We'll see what happens. Thank you and bye-bye.